Martin Luther King said something I believe is profound about philanthropy. He said, philanthropy is commendable, but it should not allow the philanthropist to overlook the economic injustice which makes philanthropy necessary. And what Dr. King was saying was that indeed foundations, wealth is in part a result of inequality and injustice. And therefore, the work of the philanthropist should be to correct injustice, to reduce the poverty, the lack of opportunity that makes it impossible, makes it difficult for people to advance. For people like you and me, we do need in philanthropy to ask some fundamental questions about how we pursue justice. And that leads us, in my view, to make some uncomfortable reflections, to engage in those uncomfortable reflections about our own practices, our own boards, our own leadership, who we fund, how proximate the organizations and the leaders we fund are to the actual problems we're trying to solve. And so for me, what that means is we do need to take an equity lens to our work. We obviously know that education is the highest premium, the highest lever of a philanthropic dollar. And so to all who are investing in education, I encourage more of that investment.
When I think about the HBCU dynamic, one of the most important things that we all can do on this call and this platform is think about, in addition to putting capital into those HBCUs and enabling them, but hiring the students as interns. The intern platforms and creates that opportunity. I can't tell you, it's thousands of experiences I've had with non-minority folks where their first internship was sophomore year, junior year in college that changed the direction of their life. And we need to expand that set of opportunities for African Americans and underrepresented minorities. There are very specific activities that corporations, foundations can focus on today, and there's infrastructure in place to do it that's highly effective, that literally not in 2 generations, but in 4, 5, 6 years can change the entire economic trajectory of an entire community.
We now are having a very different conversation about diversity that moves us beyond tokenism. We now have moved beyond that and understand that for the company to be successful, we need more than just tokens. We need real representation, not for political correctness reasons, but because it will make us a better company, a higher performing company.
The point is to create intention and then action, and then hold the executives and the board accountable. Ultimately, you all as shareholders on the one hand, and the board has to hold the senior managers on the other through the way that their shares are vested, through the way that their economic incentives are manifested in the way that they run those businesses.
Undergirding this country, this nation, is a set of ideas and ideals. Those ideas and ideals are what inspire me. And certainly they were written by men who were flawed. Yes, they were flawed, but they also were geniuses because they left us the tools to solve the problems that they didn't have the courage or willingness to solve. And today, I'm reminded of those ideas and ideals, and I am inspired by them, as African Americans certainly have been, as probably the most loyal and patriotic Americans who have believed over centuries in the idea of America, even knowing that the bounty of America they would not participate in. in their lifetimes, and yet they believed. And so I'm reminded of the words of Langston Hughes in his great poem, Let America Be America, when he says, let America be America. America never was America to me. And yet he ends in the final stanza by saying, but yes, someday America will be.